Jehovah, Yahweh, I am. Self-existent, unchanging. Are you ready to learn a big word? First, let's learn to say the word. Egg, like what you eat with toast. Zis, like hiss, but with a Z. Tent, like what you use when camping. Can you say existent? This is what the word looks like. Existent. But what does existent mean? This is really important because the next name for God means he is self-existent and unchanging. The name is Yahweh, which is a name we can't say. We can only spell out the letters. This is God's most special name. If you want to copy a page, you can use a copy machine. But in Bible times, men copying the Bible had to write every word by hand. When they got to the name of God, they would skip it and leave a blank space. Later, they would write God's name with a special God pen. Why do you think they used a special pen for God's name? God's name was so precious, so special, that they used a special pen not used for anything else. God's personal name, Yahweh, was so special that they would not even say it. So it was written YHWH, which cannot be spoken. Much later, extra letters were added to make it Yahweh in Hebrew or Jehovah in Latin. In your English Bible, it looks like this, Lord. Yahweh or Jehovah means I am. Let's see what I am means. Do you remember the story of Moses and the burning bush? What was strange about that burning bush? This bush burned and burned, but it never burned up. If you burn a piece of wood, does it burn forever? No, the fire burns out because the wood burns up and there is nothing left to burn. But this bush kept burning and did not burn up. God used the burning, never burned out bush to show Moses something about himself, that he is self-existent and unchanging. God spoke to Moses from the burning bush. He said he knew about the Hebrew people who were slaves in Egypt, and God said he would set them free. God told Moses to bring his people out of Egypt. But Moses had a problem. He didn't know God's name. This is what he said to God. Then Moses said to God, "If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' what shall I say to them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am." And he said, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'I am has sent me to you.'" God also said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you.' This is my name forever." Exodus 3:13-15. The Lord Yahweh, Jehovah, said to Moses, "I am. This is my name forever." What does the name I am mean? It means God is real. He is not made up. He is alive and lives forever. Just as the bush was never burned up, God never wears out. He never gets tired or needs to sleep. God never gets used up, and he never dies. Here is where our big word comes in. Existent means real or living now. God is self-existent. That means he is living without the help of anything else, all by himself. He doesn't need anything, not air to breathe or sleep to make him strong. He doesn't need a mom or a dad, doctors or policemen. He doesn't need any help. He doesn't need anything to exist. He is self-existent. This is what the book of Acts says about God, who is self-existent and who doesn't need anything. The God who made the world and everything in it, being Lord of heaven and earth, does not live in temples made by man, nor is he served by human hands, as though he needed anything, since he himself gives to all mankind life and breath and everything. Acts 17:24-25. God, Elohim, the strong creator, who made everything, is Jehovah, I am, who doesn't need anything. Instead, he gives us everything. God gives us air, food, water, sleep, parents. Everything we have comes from God, who doesn't need anything. Everything we have gets used up or worn out. Everything we know will die someday, but not God. He never gets worn out. He is always strong, always alive, always in charge of the world he made. He never changes. He is always God, Elohim, strong creator. He is always Yahweh, Jehovah, I am, the self-existent God, who does not need anything and never changes. He is God, and he is great. Of old you laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you will remain. They will all wear out like a garment. You will change them like a robe, and they will pass away. But you are the same, and your years have no end. Psalm 102, 25 through 27. Learning to trust God. Read Romans 11, 34 through 36. How do these verses end? Why is it right for us to praise God? Talk about why we can trust a God who doesn't need anything and never changes. Praise Jehovah for being alive and strong and never needing anything and never changing. Ask Him to help you to trust Him. Activity. Make a large poster of the names of God, leaving room to add many more names as you learn them. Decorate the names. What did you need to create your poster? Remember that God, Elohim, created the world from nothing, and that God, Jehovah, doesn't ever need anything.